That looks great. I didn't do anything different. Oh, that looks great. That does look great. Haha. Okay. All right. Oh, you think I had a filter on my face? Okay, let's see. All right. Oh. What's up, you guys? Oh, I like that. All right. Y'all up here early. Ain't y'all supposed to be at work? Don't y'all got 9 to 5s? I'm trying to check. I'm just trying to test something out. Is it me or does this camera look a lot better? I feel like a creep. Why, Tree? We at work. Oh, y'all are at work. Okay. I'm working and listening. What you listening to? I ain't said nothing. Also, I'm not even wearing any. I'm wearing just my this t-shirt I got from Nautica. Um, I was just trying to test this camera out. The camera looks great though. I do have the window open. That could be it. The window is open. Now I feel like a creep. What? Are you on all 3 platforms? I'm homeschooling. Jerica? No, I'm just here right now. I needed to look at some of the settings in here. So that's why I was on here. That's why it says testing, and that's why it doesn't say morning gossip. Very clear. Yeah, very clear, huh? I did clean off the camera, so that could have something to do with it. Also, too, um, I do have the window open. Yeah, okay. Good morning, you guys. I was trying to look at some of these settings. I actually got off. I'm up early, which is unusual, but I got out of a meeting with a patent attorney. We had a meeting, so uh, by next Wednesday, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get this patent, the Nosy Bystanders. I have it patent. I have it. I have the application submitted by next Wednesday. I can't find last night's live. I missed the first 15 minutes. Oh, it should be here. When you go to my page, when you go directly to the Nosy Bystanders, you got to slide over to what's it called? You got to slide over to videos. If you just go straight to my page, it's not going to be on the first page. It's not going to be on the home page. You have to switch over to video like that. And it's right there. So you see how I slid over from home to video? It's the second one right there. And I rewatched it. So it's there. Go girl. Thanks, Rashida. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm doing next week. Because I have a meeting with the Voices app on Tuesday. She on early today. Oh, what's up, L Dub? Yeah, I was doing some testing. Um, I was testing out some stuff. Checking for bugs is what I said. I was checking for bugs. Because y'all know my main account is banned again. My main TikTok account is banned again. So I have the Nosy Bystanders account. This one here. So wow, you can see like my whole front yard. It's like, you park your car right there? I do. Okay. We're in a desert. You park your car in your front lawn. But yeah, so I know, and my dirty desk. But yeah, so here's the Nosy Bystanders. Wow. Look at all those frames being taken. You see them? You see the frames? The camera flash is taking different images. But here's the Nosy Bystanders TikTok page. I'm gonna start using that from now on. I'm not gonna be using my backup anymore. And I've been testing this too. So Just follow the Nosy Bystanders on TikTok. Good morning, Wu Chow. No way. They really nosy. Oh, that's my car, girl. That's my car. There's no grass out here, so you can park your car on your front lawn. Everything's flat. Does that make sense? Everything's flat. You said, will you still be doing the Zoom call? Yeah, I do it every Sunday at 4. I did it Sunday at 4 p.m. East Pacific Standard Time, but no one showed up. So, what about your subscribers on my main account? It sucks. Somebody's mass reporting my main page, and I have a tiny inclination about who it is. I think it's a loosely held group of bozos who are doing it. And I could probably pinpoint where they're coming from. I could probably pinpoint where they're coming from. I was just banned for a week. I got back on for 2 days, they flagged a video about a family who I've been working with to tell their daughter's story because she got murdered. And these bozos, obviously not caring about the death of a pregnant woman who was murdered, decided to mass report those videos. So now her story can't get out. That's the part that really frustrates me, that people will hate me so much that they are willing to silence a girl who was murdered, her story, simply because people just hate me for no apparent reason, or my proximity to something or another. And then they call themselves activists and allies. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. Like, I've been working with this family for the better part of a week, trying to get their story together so we can help Dantia get justice. And someone goes and mass reports it for illegal goods and services, illegal, unregulated goods. I don't know. But I feel like they're going to also come for my YouTube page too. They are. They are. When you're monetized, when your page is monetized, you can see who not only subscribes to your page, but also where they come from. Like, what brought them to your page. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but you can see what brought them, right? Like, oh, they were watching this video and it brought them here, and that's how they got here. So the analytics over here are crazy detailed. Crazy detailed. So I know exactly where they're coming from, you know? You said they did a lot of people like that. Yeah, hey, Sister Girl Jess. I'll let you know who I think it is. These people out here call themselves activists and allies and protect Black women and all that other garbage that comes out of their mouth. But they're nothing but a bunch of fake phonies who are terrified of me, which I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'd be over here minding my own business. And these content creators on TikTok are terrified of me. And last night, I could not figure out why. You said the thing about YouTube is they review the reports, and it takes a lot to get your channel removed. Exactly, because there's actual human moderators. Once you're monetized, you get an actual human being who moderates your account. I know this because they emailed me. That's how I know this. I thought it was a joke. No, once you become monetized on YouTube, you actually have a human being who monitors your account. So I'm not too worried about that. I just know that they're over here because I was reviewing my analytics the other day. $3 knows. I was reviewing my analytics the other day and I saw one of them. And then I went ahead and looked through the rest of my analytics and I saw a few more of them. So they're over here. They've slithered their way across over here. They slither their way over here. Can we put on your page first TT check out the Nosy Bystanders in the comments? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because that's the page I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna post content on that page. I'm simply just gonna use that page for live streaming. That's it. I'm not posting any content because I'm really mad about that girl Dantia's story. I'm really because I really, I've worked really hard with that family, and I really wanted to use my page to get their sister some justice, and to have people go in there and mass report it on purpose. That was on purpose. Okay, so this is how you know that TikTok, this is how you know that TikTok, it's TikTok who flags your video if you post it and within the first one minute to 10 minutes, it has a violation on it. That's usually TikTok. That's 10 times out of 10, that's TikTok. If your video is up for like 3 days and it gets flagged, that's somebody. That's not TikTok. TikTok would have caught it early on when they processed your video. So, it's just upsetting. It's really sad. A lot of women die by their partners when pregnant. Mhm. We don't know if it was her partner or not because it is alleged. But at the same time, though, um, I sent the family over the link to the Harris County coroner's office because they don't have a copy of her autopsy. I told them immediately get a copy of her autopsy. Immediately. You need to know what her time of death was. So because they have surveillance video of someone running out of her apartment the night she was murdered, so you'll be able to put the time. It'll give you a good time frame of when the coroner projected her death. Oh, thank you very much. Is it Anissa Patterson? Thank you, Anissa. Some people can handle truth. So is your TikTok gone? It's gone. It's probably gonna be gone. So I can't post content on there anymore. Unfortunately, I can't. I cannot post content on there anymore. I don't talk about these people. They still come and mass report my page. I talk about other stories. They still mass report my page. I completely disregard these people. Completely. It must drive them crazy that I ignore them, which is weird because isn't that what you would want, to be ignored and left alone? Not good enough for them. So I'm like, I can't I can't, it makes it hard because like, that's why I want to grow YouTube so that I can share, like I can work with more families and share their stories, um, I want to be able to do that without having to worry about crazies. TikTok is too full of crazies. I said that already. I told you guys that well before. TikTok it's full of way too many crazies. It's too many. At first I was like, oh, this is manageable. It is not manageable. It's not manageable. It don't matter if you block people, they come up from a backup account and do the same thing. There's no protection. So, even if TikTok doesn't take my main account, simply have to walk away from it because it's not worth doing all that hard work to have people take your videos down. And now TikTok is not even reviewing your appeals. Last week I had a video, someone flagged a video 2 months old. It's still being appealed. TikTok hasn't even reviewed it. And then now TikTok normally takes 24 hours to review your appeal. The video from Dantia Clark is still under appeal. Like, so, like I can't even, hold on one second. Yeah. I can't even, hold on. Oh, look at that. Funny enough, they reviewed the appeal. Okay, hold on right now. You said you're finding the truth and they're going, no, it's not about the truth. This is more grisly. This is not about the stories I do. This is about people. I can't say it. I can't say what I think it is here on live because a number of the people who I know are mass reporting my page are over here, not in this live specifically, but they're over here on they're over here on YouTube. No, it's not the Jakes family. You said fake activism and performative activism is sad, and no one in the circle is calling out their bullshit. No one is, because they're all benefiting from the bullshit that they're doing. Okay. Okay, that video was restored. How is this video? How is this bullying and harassing? So that doesn't make any sense. So I'm only banned for 2 more days. So I went from 7 days to 2 days. So we're getting somewhere. So by, we'll say Friday, Sunday. What's 3:28? Is that 3:28 a.m.? Hold on one second. I got to look something. I don't know military time. I hate this. Hold on. Oh, it's 3:28 a.m. Yeah. Okay. So my account will be unbanned on Sunday at 3:28 a.m. Guess we're gonna have to go live on Sunday at 3:28 a.m. for my account. But I won't be posting content on my account anymore. I can't take that risk. You said that's draining and discouraging. Yeah, it is. You said, well, one thing's for sure, your supporters are going to support you. Yeah, but the thing about it is, the part that sucks about that is that my supporters are here for celebrity gossip. My supporters don't even know half of the things that go on the other side of TikTok because they don't give a fuck. And they shouldn't, right? They shouldn't care. And they don't even know half these people. So I don't want to drag my audience in it. That's why I'm not using anyone's names or anyone's likeness. I don't care. Um, but I just want to let you guys know. I have my backup account. It's Stephanie Hall 1. I'm just going to go live on that account for the live shows. I'm not posting content. When I do those series, the Wendy Williams series is going to be only on YouTube and only the Voices app. I'm not posting any content on any of those pages because these people are foaming at the mouth. They're foaming at the mouth to be able to get my page down. Foaming. So I'm just going to go live. So that's what I wanted to basically be here. I was testing out some stuff here because I got to make sure that I'm able to do that. So I was just testing out some stuff here on YouTube and on the Voices app because I'm just going to make sure that. So don't expect any more content on either any of my pages at all. And trust me, my main account, I don't have that viewfinder that most people have where you can see who's looking at your page, but my other accounts I do, and I can see they're all watching my pages, all of them. They're watching my pages, waiting for content to show up on these pages. And I can't give them any. At first, you think, well, I'm just not going to talk about them. And they'll go away. No, that doesn't work for them. These people are sycophants. Why are they like this, grown people? You know what? Sharpie fine point? I don't know. I think it's ego, right? Like, it's ego, maybe. I know I couldn't tell you. I wish I had a clinical psychologist in the building. Good morning, Tracy takes on. You say you can go into settings and change the time. And I don't have an iPhone, so I don't know the settings. Oh, thanks. I do because TikTok a mess. Honey, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Asa Ailey? I don't know how to pronounce your name. But yeah, it is a mess. Bitter Betties. How small of them? Yeah. I don't know if it's their bitter or their egos or I honestly don't know what it is. I would love to know what it is. I would love to. I would love to. Asaili, as Ali, Asaili. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I want to pronounce it correctly. Crazy enough, anytime I get banned, I get more followers. It's so sad. The last week I got banned, I gained 10,000 followers. I'm like, why are people following an account that's banned? I guess that's what's keeping the account afloat. Does that make sense? Right? All of the community guideline violations, but it's racked up with 10 times as many more subscribers and 100 times as many more likes and shares. So that's probably what's keeping my account. TikTok's probably like, why are they saving this account? Good morning, beloved. Hello. Asali. Asali. Thank you. Asali. Okay, that's a beautiful name. I'm a cut now. Bye. See you later, Bone. Because banned accounts have juicy info. Do they? What's up, Jeanette? Do they? I didn't realize that banned accounts have juicy info. Well, now that I'm only going live and all of my content will be here on YouTube. I'm not posting any content on TikTok. These people are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Now that I'm only going to post now I can just do longer form videos. I don't got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 parts. I'm still going to use TikTok software to edit my videos and make my videos because I can't find an app that lets me green screen. For the life of me, I can't find one. TikTok is the only platform that offers that green screen effect that I actually need. And they have green screen video. So shout out to y'all if y'all can find me a green screen app that functions just like TikTok. Until then, I'm going to always shoot my content on TikTok, download it to my phone, and then lump it together, because I just love the green screen video and green screen effect, which I can't find anywhere else. I've tried. I've looked in the App Store everywhere. You have an interesting platform. Thank you. Will you use your newscaster voice? My newscaster voice? I don't have a newscaster voice, do I? Candace here too. Candace is here. I didn't realize I had a newscaster voice. Use it for something. My voice. I'm glad you're going live just because when you go live on multiples at one time, one of the chats gets neglected. I have to go multiple. I do. It sucks. That's why I have the co-hosts. Sister Girl Jess wasn't on last night. We needed her because she keeps the conversation going while I read the chat. I love my co-hosts. Don't get me wrong. I love them, but I need them to keep it going. There's too many breaks when they'll talk and then they'll just stop talking and it's dead air. I can't have dead air. But when I had Brenda and Sister Girl Jess as the co-host the other night, they kept the conversation going and I was still on 3 platforms and I was still able to maintain all the chats. But when I have co-hosts who might be a bit shy, I can't, it's hard because then I have to pick up the slack. Are you growing? Growing what? What's up, Shay? How you doing? So I need a solid co-host. I need a solid co-host. If I had a solid co-host, if I did like a month of this testing it out and trying to find a really good co-host, I would totally hire a co-host and just put them on payroll for real. And this is what they would do. It would just be me and them. And you guys would be able to get a co-host just shooting the shit. I'm here for you. Thank you. But I love the rotating co-hosts. Dr. Diaz is great. Dr. Diaz did her thing last night. She was giving out all the tea, honey. Because that Jess, if you wasn't there last night, you should have been there because honey, she was telling all the tea on Diana Ross. And apparently Diana Ross is one of the biggest home wreckers, honey. So Dr. Diaz was giving up the tea. It was hilarious. It was great because I didn't know that. So it was wonderful. So she's a wonderful co-host too. So I always try to figure out which chat you mainly look at and go to that platform. Oh, I look at all of them because they're all positioned on my screen. So like when I'm on YouTube, the window's really small. So your chat shows up so I can see your chat. And then the Voices app and then TikTok. And so when they're all lined up perfectly, I can actually see all of you. I would love to get a phone stand for my device so it makes it a lot easier to look at chats, but I do what I can. Um, I do what I can do. Oh, more viewers? I do have a lot of viewers. When I go live on my main account, I can get anywhere between 3 and 600 people into the live on Voices. I can get up to 100, and here I get up to 100. So that's roughly about, on average, 5 to 800 people will watch me live on 3 different platforms. Trust me, I would love it to be on one platform, but y'all are so goddamn picky. Some people like YouTube. Some people love Voices and some people like TikTok. So I just try to cater to everyone, I just try to cater to everyone. I'm going back and look at yesterday. Chat. It was only an hour and a half live. Normally I try to do 2 hours, 6:30 PST to 8:30 PST. But I needed a solid co-host. I had Dr. Diaz, but I had everyone else on the stage, and I had a lot of people who were on the stage and they were shifting the conversation, and I didn't like it. It was a lot of steering. You understand what I mean? I was doing a lot of steering and I was like, I can't do this. So I had to cut the live short just by a half hour because it was too much steering. I love having co-hosts, but when the conversation starts to do this, we got to wheel it back in. You understand what I mean? So it was too much wheeling. The night where I had you, Sister Girl Jess, and Bonsai, and I think Dr. Diaz was on the stage. We had Miss Nikki and Miss Brenda. That was a good set of co-hosts because y'all kept the conversation like this. It wasn't doing this. It was like this, and it was perfect. And I could read the chat. The conversation stayed on task and on topic. It wasn't veering off like this. It was too much last night. So I had to end it early. And I hate that. Look into developing your own app. No, I would never do that. It's too expensive. Do you want a tabletop phone stand or floor stand? I need a tabletop iPhone stand, but I'll get there when I get there. But thank you. Develop your own app. No, I would never develop my own app. You said I watched it this morning. I thought most people knew Diana Ross. Gen X and older does. We know who Diana Ross is. We didn't know she was a homewrecker, honey. Now, now, we didn't know she was a homewrecker. I knew she was a supreme, okay, but I didn't know that. To make a wish list, and then what do? I wish upon a star that I had X, Y, and Z. There's my wish list. Sister Girl really need to collaborate with you for real, because Sister Girl got that. Sister Girl and Brenda, I'm gonna have to reach out to them this weekend from my main account, because I follow Brenda and Sister Girl on my main account. Obviously I have Sister Girl's phone number. I gave Brenda my phone number because that's what you need. Do you see why the Steve Harvey morning show, DL Hughley's morning show, and Ricky Smiley's morning show works well? Because they have individuals who are more seasoned in age and wisdom, and they're messy, which breaks the shows. That's why the shows skyrocket, because everyone on every demographic loves it. Everyone on every Do you see why no one watches the fucking Breakfast Club? Because everyone's young and they think they know everything. Ebro's probably the oldest person on, or DJ Envy is probably the oldest person on that show. And but you need to have older individuals on your show because it caters to that audience. That audience wants to that's what the audience wants to hear. They want to hear Brenda and Sister Girl Jess talking about coochie coupons and shit, because that stuff is funny. It's old school and it's funny. It's relatively old. They want to hear people like Dr. Diaz bringing up Diana Ross being a hooker back in the day. That's what they want to hear. So you're catering to those people, but you need them. Those make your star co-hosts. Young co-hosts are great, but they steer the topic. I've noticed that just from doing this every night. They steer this conversation just a bit too left wing, and you want to kind of bring it back in. So that's what you need. Michael Jackson was in love with Diana Ross. Yeah, and I think that was like the gay best friend type of scenario, like Michael Jackson was not gay. Well, we don't know, but that's what it was. It was kind of like that gay best friend. You should make one on Amazon. No, I'm not gonna make one on Amazon. I'm not. Diana was passing out. She was passing out coochie coupons. I guess she was beautiful. She's still beautiful. She had those big doughy eyes and that 1-inch waist. Yeah. Breakfast Club is not young. They're all in their 40s, but they act young, and that's what makes their audience not like them. Does that make sense? They're old people trying to pretend to be young. The Ricky Smiley Morning Show, D.L. Hughley, and Steve Harvey are old, and they just act old, and people love it because old people have a sense. They have a different style on how they speak. They give you relevance. They make you feel like you're at the barbecue. Does that make sense? They make you feel like you at your granny's house barbecuing, and that's your uncle and that's your auntie. You know what I mean? They got like old slang, old talk. It makes you feel at home. It gives this sense of like comfort when you hear them speak. And that's what attracts their audience to them. The Breakfast Club there's nothing about their dialect that makes you feel like you're at home. That's what these other shows do. That's why their co-hosts, Ricky Smiley has Gary with the T, and Steve Harvey has what's her name? The one who reads those strawberry letters, and I forget the other comedian's name, Anthony something, and then DL Hughley. They make you feel like it's the summertime, it's you in the Midwest, your uncles and aunties are over, they playing spades, they give you that feeling, you know. I'm 51 and you right. Yeah, right. Don't they when I listen to who's the other one who just retired? Tom Joyner. If you know the jingle, I don't even got to play the jingle. I probably couldn't play the jingle. I'd get a copyright violation. But you know the Tom Joyner morning show. Who we all grew up listening to Tom Joyner. It makes you feel like I don't know. Like when I think about Tom Joyner, I think about summertime at my great granddaddy's house, popsicles, quarter bag of chips. That's what I think about. It gives me a nostalgic feeling. I feel very nostalgic thinking about listening to Tom Joyner. My Uncle Noah taking all of us camping, being in his camper full of spiders, campfire, my auntie, like hanging out. When I was a kid, her driveway was like the biggest thing in the world because we could only play in the driveway. Because, when my auntie would watch us, that's how she would watch us. She'd be on the porch with my Uncle Noah, and we would be in the driveway and they'd be listening to Tom Joyner, and she would buy us a big chalk. That's what I think about. You understand? So when I listen to shows like Steve Harvey, it feels nostalgic. So I want my show to have that nostalgic feel because nostalgia sells, right? People listen to that. That means acted old? I don't know what that question means. She got a DUI in your area too. Who's she? Diana Ross? Yeah, you said I'm 45 and I get it. DL is handsome in person, just short. Is he? He looks like he'd be a handsome man. I'm 52. Not the jingle gonna be stuck in my head. See, you definitely must have a gift to write. I'm a halfway decent writer. But most of the stuff that I think about, I compartmentalize in my head. I never actually put on paper. Who doesn't watch Breakfast Club though? I'm confused. A lot of people. My audience does not watch the Breakfast Club. I know this because I watch I watch all of your analytics. I don't know if you know that or not, but when your account is monetized on YouTube, I can watch your analytics so I can see where you're coming from. So where did you come from? Do you know where most of you guys came from? Most of you guys came from the Larry Reid show. Some lady named Lovely T. Impressive Radio. A lot of you watch the Steve Harvey morning show. A lot of you watch Ricky Smiley's morning show. No one came from the Breakfast Club. No one can. So my video, like when you're watching the people who I just listed, my video it'll be like next video will play if you have your auto play on. Next video plays in 4, 5, 3, 2, 1 seconds. My video pops up. That means that's where you came from. because we share the same audience. Yeah, that's right. I came from TikTok. But you guys may have a history of watching some of these people on um, YouTube, and so it tells me your analytics. Anti-woman. I don't watch or listen to anyone anymore. No, I used to listen to a lot of them. I used to watch Lovely T, but then I realized when her and Tasha K started fighting a couple years ago, I didn't like either of them. I was like, ew. I used to watch Tasha K. And I still watch Lovely T, and no shade to either of them, but they both seem like two old biddies who just be fight. Like I didn't like how they were fighting with each other. They were calling like I don't like when people fight with each other, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth, especially black women, is "Oh, you're poor." Like, and then you got the other one out here renting cars and Ferraris and shit to prove she's not poor. I think that was the argument. Like, that was the argument because again, when it comes to gossip like this, you can't be the reigning queen. You got to push one off the cliff. You got to push each other off the cliff. I came from TikTok, but I watch Breakfast Club, not Steve Harvey, but I'm not immature. No one said the Breakfast Club was immature. It's just it's not really a lot of people's cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea for sure. I don't like Angela Yee or Charlemagne. If I had to listen to the show, I probably would be listening to DJ Envy. That's about it. I just don't like the way that Charlemagne talks over people, like and asks such inappropriate questions. Like someone would be like, "Yeah, because and my dog passed away last week, so I'm just been going through it." Did your dog pass away or did you run him over? You'd be like, what? Who says stuff like that? He's very reactionary and I don't like that. And then the person will look at him and they don't know what to say because he says it so quick, it throws them off guard. And they'll be like, no, my dog just passed away. He had liver cancer. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. So you're going to get a new dog? He's just like really weird, though. He's not a good interviewer. So I don't know how he keeps getting signed back to the Breakfast Club. No clue. Yeah, I don't watch them anymore. I used to, but not anymore. I used to watch them just for their interviews, really. Ill dude, thank you. Well, Charlemagne learned from Wendy Williams. He was her side host. Yep. Nicole says, I think he's trying to be like Howard Stern. I could see that. He is a shock jock. He is a shock jock. Yep. Yeah. I don't like that. I'm funny when I'm on live, but I actually know how to conduct an interview. I know exactly how to conduct an interview. It's the easiest thing to do. It's literally the easiest thing to do. You simply just have to research the person before they come on your show. And it seems like Charlemagne does not do that. When he has a celebrity on his show, he doesn't research their current projects, their past projects, nothing. He don't look up to see if they're married and how many kids they got. He's not interested in these people. Shock jocks aren't. Interviewers are. That's why when you see every time you would see someone go on the Oprah Winfrey show, remember she'd have their book because she would read it. She would read their book and highlight points she wanted to discuss in their book. When Oprah got bigger, obviously she had staffers reading the book and highlighting very key important points that Oprah should ask. Because Oprah's an incredible interviewer. She's gotten she's a literal journalist. A literal journalist. So when people are like, why everybody always going Oprah? Because the bitch can ask questions. She can ask questions. She invites you in and she makes you feel very comfortable. But once you have a seat on one of Oprah's 20,000 couches, honey, she gonna get to the tea. At the end of the day, Oprah is the biggest tea queen ever. Would you let Charlamagne interview? Never. Not in a million years. If I ever got my channel big enough where I got invited to the Breakfast Club and Charlamagne was still there, I would read him for filth. There will be no way he would ever talk to me the way that he talks to half of his guests. Because unlike his guests, I know a lot more about Charlemagne. A lot. I would completely eviscerate him to his face. Worse than Monique ever could. Yeah, he no, he wouldn't. It'd be a cold day in hell before the Breakfast Club ever had me on as a guest. And Angela Yee wouldn't say shit because she don't say shit regardless. And DJ Envy don't say nothing because he don't be giving a fuck. He'd be his own little world. So it would be just me and Charlemagne, and it'd be a wrap for Charlemagne. It'd be the last interview Charlemagne ever got in his entire life. They'd be like, "Ooh, why you embarrass him like that? Because he's a doofus. He only looks up the negative." Yeah, that's right. I think you make it look easy. I don't think it's that easy. You're good at what you do. Thank you very much, Nicole. You said, "Oh yes, great example. The Oprah Winfrey, Barbara Walters." Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You said he would do the same to you. He would do the same to me. No, he wouldn't. I have watched The Breakfast Club for a number of years. I know for a fact, right hand of God, that Charlemagne does not research any of his guests ever. Ever. Go play one interview with Charlemagne and any guest, pick them. Pick any person that you can imagine. Charlemagne does not ever do a full deep dive on his guests. That's why his questions are always so off cuff. Always. Because it's lazy. Because he is a shock jock. Angela don't do shit either, honey. She don't do nothing either. He's a bum. When it comes to interviewing, not like in real life, but he's a bum, y'all. It's that simple. He never does his interns too. They're not good at researching. I didn't even know he had an intern. He has it pulled up on his laptop during the interviews. No, he doesn't. And whoever's doing those deep dives on his guests are doing a really, if he does have it on his laptop, they're doing a really poor job at it. A really poor job at it. Really poor. You can watch his interviews and tell he's stupid. No shade to him, but you can watch his interviews and tell he is a dumb person because of the way that he formulates his sentences. You're like, what kind of sentence is that? It's like a sentence minus like grammar. Does that make sense? It doesn't make any sense. When he speaks, it makes no sense. I don't know who's ghostwriting his books. They don't make sense either. I don't know who told Charlemagne the God that he gets to talk about Black issues. He should just hang it up, honey. He should just hang it up. He should just hang it up. You said check out the Little Mama interview. He tried to play her for real. I've seen that interview several times. Yeah, you're totally right about that. You said they're not journalists, even though Angela has a degree for it, I believe. Woo chow. I don't have a degree in journalism, but I do have 2 degrees, one in political science, one in arts. And my degree in political science, I actually have experience in research and analytics. So that's why when I look at something, I kind of zero in on specific topics. So people be like, can you do a story on this? And I can just overall look at the story and be like, this is not going to yield much data, you know? So I do have a background in analytics and research. That's why I'm really good at storytelling, you know? Everybody played Little Mama. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. You said, I think they do what works for their audience. That could be true. That could be true, Ashley. Yeah, he's terrible. He is. He is. He's awful. He's an awful person. I think he's an awful person. But then again, that's just my personal opinion. And no shade to Charlemagne. Good luck to him and his wife and his kids. But he is going to go down in history as one of the probably the dumbest people on the planet. I'm like, who's publishing this man? I would take a course in how to search for information if you offered it. It's not about how you search for information. The searching is the easy part. It's about what questions to ask. So like when I do a story, um, this is really how I do it. I wait for the story to die down. Everyone's talking about it, everyone's talking about it. I let a story die down, and then I just file it in my brain. I'm like, that's going to be interesting later. Then I look at the story overall and I look at what's unusual about it. So when someone's like, "Oh, someone was murdered," that okay, that's not much to tell, right? There's not much to tell in that. I look for the tiny anomaly in the story, right? So let's say a baker killed his wife, who was the co-baker at his bakery. That seems like an open and shut case. So what I look for when I'm researching the story is a little tiny bump of discrepancy that doesn't quite make sense, right? Like um, the baker who is being accused of murdering his wife also was married 10 years ago, and that wife is dead. That's the anomaly I would look for. So maybe people just completely forgot about the first wife and the story is just like kind of gone with the wind. But that's the anomaly. That's the bump I look for. And that's the story that I actually go to research. I don't actually research the current stuff. I look back. Or if someone tells me like that story we're doing on the NFL player, and they're like, oh, the NFL was, passing out these NDAs and he was getting all these hand jobs from these masseuses. That's not the story. That's not interesting. The interesting part of the story would be, well, how much did he pay them? And how many women were there, right? Those are the two tiny bumps. And does he have a history of doing this prior to entering into the NFL? Now, let's say he played college football at Florida State. Well, I would go and research in Florida State. So that's where my research would take me. I would go back to Florida State and be like, was he doing this while he was at Florida State? That's the story, not the current shit that's out there, because it's already done to death. It's already done to death. You got to go back and look. So that's how I find my stories. I go back and look. So when I did that story about the that Hispanic lady who got charged with slavery in Georgia, she was kidnapping a bunch of migrants who were coming in here as seasonal workers, and she would steal their visa so they couldn't go back home during the off season. She would force them to work all year round. That story's already out. We already see that story, right? There's no anomaly there. I didn't discover the story, so there's no anomaly in the story. So what I did was I just took the woman's name and I searched her on Twitter and I searched her on YouTube. Turns out 10 or 12 years ago, a local newspaper did a story on her and called her like a saint because she was hiring so many of these migrant workers out of the kindness of her heart. Then I went to the comment section and someone had actually accused her of modern day slavery 12 years ago. That's the story. That's the story. That's not the shit that she got caught for now. That someone actually pointed it out 12 years ago. So it took 12 years for those migrants to get those seasonal workers to get justice. But there's the story. So you got to follow the teeny tiny bumps. It's not always what you see in your face. You got to go look back. When someone gives me a story and I look back and I don't see anything, there's no story. I just move on. I just completely move on. I was like, that's not a story. It's interesting to you, but it's not interesting to me because there's nothing to chase. There's nothing to chase. So people do it all the time. Now, there is a story that I want to start working on, but I have to reach out to the person who's closely connected to the story, And then what I do is I try to look for the bumps, the little tiny little raised bumps. And if I don't find any, I just move on. Not really patterns. No, it's hard to explain. It's like in my head, but it's very hard to explain. It's like, okay, let's look at this phone case, this phone box, for instance, right? So just imagine this, it's very smooth story, right? Husband murders wife, jail, the end. That's the story, right? To me, that's not interesting. Not that the woman's death isn't sad and his kids having no mother or father isn't sad. That's sad, but that's not a story, right? So it's just very, 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 there is no pattern. It's just, this is the story someone brought me, said, can you talk about this man who murdered his wife and kids? He's in jail. There's no story. He's already in jail. Okay. So, and the story seems to be very cut and dry. Now, if I were to research him and I found out that he had two other dead wives from the 70s, now that's a story. That's the story. So this has brought me there. I wouldn't even discuss this. Like people always do that all the time. They send me stories and be like, "Can you talk about this guy? He murdered his wife. He has a criminal history." Okay, the criminal history doesn't mean much. It could show a pattern, but I don't look for patterns. I just look for a tiny detail that leads me to a real story. So does that make sense? That's what I do. That's why everyone's like, your stories are so interesting because they're offbeat. They're off-beaten stories. They're not the main story. Like when I talked about Karen Civil, I didn't discuss what she did to Joyner Lucas in detail. I discussed the story that was on Twitter that no one talked about. Nobody talked about Karen Civil weaseling $41,000 from a bunch of orphans in Haiti. That's the story. So even though everyone was focused on Joyner Lucas and Jesse Wu and Hollywood Unlocked, Jason Lee, there was another story brewing all the way in the back that people just completely disregarded. So I found that story and I discussed it. So yeah, all that stuff that goes on the mainstream, that's fine. But until you peel back the layer a little bit, we would have never heard about Karen Civil playing those orphan Haitians. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. So you got to look, you got to go to the sub level. That's what I do. I go to the sub level to find things that are interesting. I don't talk about the main stuff. I don't, because they're not interesting. Everyone talks about them to death. They talk about, that's the only thing I hate. They talk about those stories to the death. And it's just like, it's not interesting anymore. There's no interest left in it. So that's why my stories take a while to come out, because I'm going to the sub level. I got to go do some real digging. You said spicy. So many people with their fake anonymous profits. They're fake non-profits. Yeah, that too. You said, oh, one of these things just doesn't belong here. Yes. Oh, good morning, Makisha. Your stories are interesting. Thank you. Yeah, it gets old quick. Don't they? They get old quick. They get old quick. So I'm always deep on Twitter and Lipstick Alley. That's how I found you through Lipstick Alley. Really? Lipstick Alley? Were they talking about us? They were talking about the Nosy Bystanders. I'm honored. I think we read. Yes, they did. I don't know why I'm acting dumb. Yes, they did. I read that. So you guys, I'm gonna give you about 8 more minutes, and then I gotta go. But yeah, so 8 more minutes. I'm gonna go smash this like button. Tonight, I'm trying to think if I want to go live tonight. I don't know if I want to go live tonight. I don't know if I want to go live tonight. What is the tip line number if we just need to have a question about research? Can we ask on here? I just don't want to say the nature of my question online. Or you can email it or send it to our Twitter at Nosy Bystanders, or our Instagram at Nosy Bystanders. I should get a Nosy Bystanders email. I don't even have one. Did you find anything on the music producer that died? I couldn't find the message. And the person who sent it to me, I was hoping that they were going to be in my live and resend it. They weren't in my live. My hair looks a mess. Yeah, so they never sent it. I'll probably just I don't know if I want to go live tonight. I don't know if I got the energy to do so. I don't even know if I have the energy to do so, to be honest with you guys. I don't know if I do. I didn't know they gave you this little thing in your iPhone. Do you know me? Ugh, I'm so tired of buying iPhones for real. What do you think is happening with Beyonce? What's going on with Beyonce? What about Beyonce? Quickly, Kel. We got to know. Does anybody know what's going on with Beyonce? No one? Okay. Okay then. She deleted all her profile pics. Were they all the same across all social media? She's probably coming out with it. Y'all, that stuff is strategic. Also, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Beyonce doesn't maintain her social media. If you want to take a look into the life of Beyonce, you need to go to Beyonce.com. I don't know if you guys know this, but I did a story on Beyonce. Actually, I did 2 stories on Beyonce. Beyonce does not manage her social media, so she's probably got an album coming out. But if you want, you hear me? If you want to actually, if you're a Beehive stan, you need to get to Beyonce.com ASAP, because Beyonce actually posts raw footage on her Beyonce website. And I'm not talking about good footage. I'm talking about the cringy stuff. Photos that are too close. Photos of her in her bedroom just trying on outfits. Just cringe like a 16-year-old, because that's really Beyonce. She's very socially awkward. You need to go to her website. People are like, "Oh, I love watching Beyonce's Twitter and Beyonce's Instagram." That stuff is a mock-up. It is nothing but a lookbook for rich people to buy her clothes. If you want a real dose of what's Beyonce on a day-to-day basis, what is she doing? She's got pictures of her at brunch, really bad angles, really bad close-ups of her and Jay-Z. And you're like, who took that? She did. She's really, really, really bad at social media, but she likes the aspect of taking pictures. You need to go to her website. When I was on her website, I was like, after I combed through about 1,000 images when I was doing a story on her, I was like, who took these? I said, oh my God, I think Beyonce took them. That's because I was like, I think she took these. They're like cringy Tumblr pictures. Listen, you don't believe me. You cannot be a Beyonce fan and you don't go to Beyonce. Listen, I said, and I looked at those images and I said, it's funny because none of these images have ever made their way to any portion of social media, because her actual fans don't go to her website. I know that for a fact. Because half those images you would have never seen before a day in your life. Really bad pictures. Really bad ones, but they're so bad, she took them, because they're not polished, they're not airbrushed, they're just really bad pictures and bad angles with overexposed lighting. They're bad, and they're all just jumbled together, like, but they're in a perfect timeline, so it tracks her perfectly. Like, it'll be like 100 pictures of her on her boat, and then the next day it'll be her like 3 pictures of her having lunch with her mom, but they're like really weird angles, and you're just like, who's taking these pictures? Beyonce is. She treats her website like her own personal social media platform. And a lot of those images I've never actually seen before. You know how like you can just think of a Beyonce picture and it's somewhere across the internet. A lot of those images are still on her website because her fans ain't fucking with her like she think they fucking with her. They not fucking with her like they not. They can't be, because how has no one seen those pictures? They're also up. She's had Beyonce.com, you guys, for years. So those pictures date all the way back to like 2008 or 9 or 10. They're really old y'all need to go over there. He said, I need to go through it. Yes, you do. He said she also does wish happy birthday to a lot of random people. Yes, on her website. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Weird. And she wishes them a happy birthday on her website. Probably nowhere the person would find it. The person's probably waiting for her to tweet them happy birthday, and the shit's on her website. She'd be like, happy birthday, Gary Coleman. You'd be like, what? Why are you saying that, Beyonce? But that's just, y'all, she's super quirky. Beyonce's super duper quirky. So I'm gonna get out of here. Go to Beyonce.com. Check out her cringy website. We love a cringe queen, honey. Check out her cringy website. We'll be back tonight here, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. You can check us out here. Stephanie Hall 1 is the TikTok. that you can stream it on, or the Voices app. Okay, so I will leave a copy. Well, you'll see me tonight. We'll be back here tonight. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for being in the building. Smash that like button, and I'll talk to y'all later. Okay.